Aum. 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 Shri Guru Pyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Parabrahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Vakratunda Mahakaya, Surya Koti Samaprabha, Nirvignam Kuru Me Deva, Sarvakaryeshu Sarvada, Saraswati Namastubhyam, Varade Kamarupini, विद्यारंभं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा um, so last time we finished a revision of verses number 1 to 41 and we have to begin with verse number 42. Now the breakup is very interesting. 1 to 41 I told you is uh, the sort of the Ananda Lahari, and the 42 onwards begins the Soundarya Lahari. Now in traditionally, when descriptions of deities are done, the kesha padadi kesha paryantam, from feet to head, right? However, when we do it so the tradition was broken by Adi Shankaracharya, and Adi Shankaracharya starts off with the description from keshadi padavari paryantam. Very interesting. Now, one should actually do some reflection on this and say why he has done this. Now, if you go back to the earlier shlokas, he has already done Padadikesham. He has described the feet. He has described how the feet are reflecting the glory of the jewels of the crowns of Brahma, Shiva, and Vishnu, who are bowing down to him, bowing down to her. He has described her waist, he has described her hair, he's actually done the description. Except that in the description, he looked at it from the perspective of merger, from the perspective of union. So, in some people who have explained the Soundarya Lahari, they say actually Acharya has given 100 ways for merging with with Devi. Now, merging with Devi, so why 100 ways? Oh, you look at the first verse. And if the first verse is enough for you, Shiva Shaktikya Rupam, right? Shiva cannot function without Shakti, Shakti cannot function without Shiva, both of them are one unit, and so on and so forth. That alone should be enough. But then we are humans, we are not Adi Shankaracharya, right? I mean, not that Adi Shankaracharya was not a human, but then he was superhuman. So, given that, the one verse is not enough. So we go to the second verse, then we go to the third verse, then we go to the fourth verse. 40 verses we have gone through, we have still not attained Devi. So he says, okay, now you have not attained her. Okay, you sit down and you meditate on her form. You meditate on her form. Because what is the ultimate meditation that we look at? The ultimate meditation is called Advaita Vichara. Advaita Vichara being you are contemplating. It is called contemplation. It is not meditation in the form of Nama Japa or anything, right? It is contemplation on the question of the ultimate reality of whatever everything is. Now, that ultimate reality, formless, attributeless, all pervading, constantly existing, asti, constantly illuminated with consciousness, bhati, constantly dear to everything because it is the self of everything, priyam, right? Brihadaranyaka Upanishad very beautifully puts it as asti bhati priyam. That is the definition of Brahman. It exists, it shines with the glory of consciousness, and it is dear to everyone. Since we cannot recognize that, then we create a construct in our mind, which has all this asti bhati priyam, but yet has a form. And that form, for a Devi Upasak, takes the form of Adi Shakti. For a Krishna Upasak, takes the form of Krishna, takes the form of Shiva, takes the form of Ganapati, right? Adi Shankaracharya recognized that there are 6 possibilities. And therefore, he took all the 6 possibilities and he said he is therefore one of the names in the 108 names when we do the Archana to Adi Shankaracharya, Shanmata Stapakaya. Shanmata Stapakaya, 6 matas. He Shanmata Aikya Stapakaya, sorry. So he united all the 6 matas. Shaiva, Vaishnava, Shakta, Saurya. People who used to worship the sun as the ultimate deity, Saurya. Ganapatya. People who used to worship Ganapati. And Kaumara. 6 matas. If you go to Kaladi, there is a beautiful Shanmata tower created by the Sringeri Acharyas. The Sringeri Matam, they created. Am I audible? Am I audible? Yeah, okay. So it is keeping on saying that my internet is unstable. So that's why I'm trying to figure out. Just give me 1 second. Yeah. Is this okay? Yeah. So if you go to Sringeri, you will find this beautiful tower. It's a 6-storied tower, the Shanmata tower. And each floor has the main precepts of each mata being shown over there. This was established by the Sringeri Acharyas in memory of Adi Shankaracharya. In Kaladi, you can visit that. So, having gone through that, and we create this construct of Ishvara, while we have created the form and so on and so forth, Ishvara is a reality. And that Ishvara's reality is something that is holistic. The sum of the parts is not equal to the whole. The whole is greater than the sum of the parts. So, for example, the sum of all the waves in the ocean is not equal to the ocean. The ocean is bigger because the ocean has depth, the ocean has other things, right? The whole construct of the ocean is far bigger. So similarly, when you put your consciousness, my consciousness, all the consciousnesses together, even then there is something which is bigger of what is called universal consciousness. And that is what we call Ishvara, Ishvari for us, right? Now, when we want to look at that and we want to approach it, because it is Sagunatmak, it has to have a Nama and a Rupa. Anything that has is Saguna has Nama Rupa, correct? Anything that is Nirguna will not have a Nama Rupa. So this is Saguna. Because it is Saguna, it has Nama and Rupa. Now this Nama Rupa. Now which comes first? Rupa or Nama?
Rupa.
I don't know. I'm just guessing Rupa.
Yeah, there is no Rupa Nama. What?
No, so I'll give you an example. I am going to give a okay. I am going to give a name, phlogisticon acid. Can you think of something? Did any form come into your mind? No, right? Because this was a name that I just now created. Nama got created. Correct? It had no rupa associated with it. So you don't have to guess. Now let me give you another angle. I will say, I'm giving you a word, bangle. Did a rupa come into your mind? Instantly. Instantly, a rupa came into the mind. Why? Because first a rupa came, we gave it a name, and that nama and rupa became so intertwined that the moment one comes, the other comes automatically. And we cannot separate the two. I cannot take away the roundness of the bangle away from it and call it a bangle. Right? In some culture, it may be called kada, it may be called chudi, it may be called whatever. But in that language, whatever the nama has been given immediately gives birth to a particular rupa because of the association. Similarly, therefore, the moment there is something saguna, it has a nama and a rupa. When it has a nama rupa, our mind can visualize it, see it, and thereby associate with it. The moment I said bangle, what happened? You created an association in your mind. Now, if I ask you to sit down and meditate on a bangle, it will be difficult. Right? You can contemplate on a bangle, Atma Vichara. What is the source of this bangle? Oh, gold. What is the source of gold? Metal. What is the source of metal? Earth element. What is the source of earth element? Oh, water element. What is the source of water element? Fire element. What is the source of fire element? Air element. What is the source of air element? The space element. What is the source of space element? Sound. What is the source of sound? Brahman. You will ultimately reach there. This contemplation I can do. Deep contemplation. But can I sit down and keep my concentration on the bangle alone with nothing else associated? No, I can't. Why? Because I am limited by my own association of body, mind, intellect. And therefore, we need to create this in our mind of something which is anthropomorphic, something that I can relate to. Correct? So whether it is a Ganapati who's not exactly, definitely does not look like a human being, but is anthropomorphic. Right? Has 4 hands, has a stomach, has legs, etc., has a head. So similar something I need to create. Now that creation doesn't mean that I have created it. It is something that is pre-existing, but I am now associating with it. I am bringing that into my consciousness. And when I'm bringing it into my consciousness, I need to be able to visualize each component of that. And as I am visualizing each component of it, I am becoming closer and closer, and my mind is becoming more and more focused onto that particular thing. Now, when I associate with something for a very long time, what happens to me? If I associate with something for a very long time, truly associate, what happens to that? What happens to me?
Tend to become that.
Correct.
Yeah.
Right? Sri Thakur, Sri Ramakrishna Paramahansa once was taken to the museum, and he was taken there by Girish Ghosh, and Girish left him over there, and he walked around looking at some other things. Suddenly, Thakur started shouting, Girish, Girish, Girish. Girish ran up because he was afraid this man will get into some samadhi, he will fall down, he will break something. Girish will have to pay for the damage. So he ran over there. And he said, see, this is an insect, but it has become stone. So he said, yeah, it is called a fossil. Arey, you don't understand. See, even this insect, by sitting on the stone for millions of years, has become stone. Just imagine what can happen to you if you do sadhu satsang. Our association over a true association, manas, buddhi, sharir, everything, over a period of time will create that association enough for merger. Acharya himself in Bhaja Govindam has said, Satsangatve nissangatvam nissangatve nirmohatvam nirmohatve nischalatatvam nischalatatve jivan mukti. You are entitled to be free right now. But what is the start? Satsanga. Satsanga has two meanings. One is sadhu sangha. At a sthula level, at a gross level, it means sadhu sangha. The second is sat, meaning that which is eternally existing, being associated with Atman and not with Anatman continuously. Now, to do that, we require a form. We require a form. And thereby, Acharya makes it easy for us by describing the form. In the first verse, in verse number 42, first verse and then verse number 42 of this part, Soundarya Lahari, he is describing the throne of the crown only. Only the crown. In the next one, he will describe the hair and so on and so forth. Right? Keshadi pada paryantam. The description is Keshadi pada paryantam. It goes from the top to the bottom. Recently, I was studying a dashakam of the Lord of Shabrimala. And the dashakam starts from Padadi Kesham. The normal being that, oh, when I see the Lord, my bowed head, I see only the feet, and then I slowly raise my head to be able to see the face. But now go to Lalita Sahasranama. In Lalita Sahasranama, how does Devi originate? From the Chidagni Kundam. How does she come out? It is her head that comes first, no? Then her hands are visible. And then the whole. So, it is her arising out of the pit of consciousness. Chidagni Kunda. It is how she arises. And that is why Acharya is very, very clear. And where did Lalita Sahasranama originate? From Devi herself. Bhagavadini Devi are the rishis. So, with the Bhagavadini Devis having clearly announced that Devi's origin comes from the head to the feet, Acharya breaks away from the standard tradition and does not go Padadi Kesham, but he goes Keshadi Padam. Keshadi Pada Paryantam. And therefore, we will now look at verse number 42. Verse number 42. Gater manikyatvam gaganamanibhi sandra ghatitam. Gater manikyatvam gaganamanibhi sandra ghatitam. Kiritam te haimam. Kiritam te haimam. Himagirisute kirtayati yaha. Himagirisute kirtayati yaha. Kiritam te haimam. Himagirisute kirtayati yaha. Gatermanikyatvam gaganamanibhi sandra ghatitam. Kiritam te haimam. Himagirisute kirtayati yaha. Sa nide yachaya. Sa nide yachaya. Purana shabalam. Chandra shakalam, sanide yachaya churana shabalam, chandra shakalam, dhanuh shaunasiram, imiti na nibadnati dhishanam, Nasanide yachaya churana shabalam chandra shakalam dhanushonashiram kimitina nibadhnati dhishanam gatermanikyatvam gaganamanibhi sandra ghatitam kiritam te haimam himagirisute kirtayati yaha sanide yachaya churana shabalam chandra shakalam dhanushonasiram kimitina nibadhnati dhishanam. Gater manikyatvam. Manikya means jewels, specifically rubies. Rubies being red, we have the redness as an effect of Devi's presence. Gater manikyatvam, having attained the quality of rubies. Gagana manibhi, like 12 suns. Now, what are the 12 suns? 12 suns, we say, Dwadasha Adityaha, right? The 12 suns, basically, they're 12 Adityas. They are Aryaman, the 12 names are Aryaman, Mitra, Bhaga, Pushan, so on and so forth. So there are 12 of them which are named. I don't remember all of them. So, and then sometimes there is Martanda, Pushan, I have mentioned. So Surya, obviously. So such names have been given. So these 12 are 12 Adityas, they are called. They are the 12 sons of Aditi. Now, if you look at the words Aditi, the word means non-dual. Non-dual, right? Her co-wife of Muni Kashyap is Diti. Diti means duality. Hence, the children of Diti are all the time trying to be creating a separation between men and the divine. That is why they are called Daityas. Daityas means son of Diti. They are continuously creating duality. So at the esoteric level, if you understand, it is not about Hiranyakashipu or Hiranyaksha or so on and so forth, fighting and so on, all that, but it is about the duality that needs to be removed. So here, the description being given is saying, Gater Manikyatvam, Gagana Manibihi, Gagana Manibihi. There are 12 suns shining in the sky. Sandra Ghatitam, embedded. Sandra, right? Sendha, we have used the word in Hindi, Sendha Dala, to welding, welded. Sandra means to be welded. Sandra Ghatitam, welded very closely, welded inside. Kiritam te haimam. Haimam. Haima is golden, right? Haima is golden. Hema. Hema. The word Hema is to mean golden. So, Kiritam tam Hemam Himagiri Sute. Himagiri. Himagiri is obviously Himavan Sute. So, this is daughter of Himavan. We all know that she was born as the daughter of Himavan after a lot of tapasya by Mena and Himavan. Himavan and Mena did a lot of tapasya, and they wanted Devi to be born in their house. And obviously then she was born over there. And for that matter, the first, and then it is believed that she was named Uma and so on and so forth. But the first mention of Uma Haimavati is in Kenopanishad. In Kenopanishad, some later time I will tell you the story of how she appears in Kenopanishad. But in Uma Haimavati, she is called, right? Haimavati here could have been daughter of Himavan, or could have been meant golden one also. So it depends on how you want to interpret that. Himagiri Sute. Kirtayati Yasa, anybody who praises. Kirtana. Kirtana means to be praising, right? Bhajana means to be worshipping. So Kirtayati Yasa. Nideya Chaya Churana Shabalam. Reflections, Churana. Chaya, reflection. Churana, Shabalam, the embedded jewels in the crown. Nideya Chaya Churana Shabalam. Chandra Sakalam. Chandra Sakalam is the rays of the moon. Dhanu Saunasiram. Saunasiram, Indra's bow. Saunasira is called Indra. Now, literal meaning of Saunasira would mean red-headed. Red-headed, right? One of the descriptions in the Rig Veda, when we look at the descriptions of the Devas and the Asuras, there has been descriptions of their hair being brown or reddish in color, right? It's very interesting because the prime deity of the Persians in the Zoroastrian religion is called Ahura, right? Replace Ha with Sa. You have Asura, right? Their primary enemy of Ahura is a person called Indra. So basically, I have a feeling, and I don't know if this is true, and I have not done any study here, but this is purely just some wild guess I'm making, is that the two branches of the same community. One stayed back in Persia, or one migrated to Persia, whichever way you look at it, and one was in India. And they came from the same roots. They looked similar, but they worshipped different deities. And therefore, the deities of the other side became the enemies of this side. But the descriptions are curly haired, brown hair in color, right? Saunashira means basically red-headed, right? Red-headed. I would think that I have a feeling that because, I mean, Saunashira, the word comes somewhere in the Rig Veda, we have the word, and Acharya has taken the word directly from there. But then the the meaning has come because of this. Is my estimate. I don't know. Nobody has commented on this. I have not seen any comment on this particular word. Only literal translation is done. Dhanush Saunashira means Indra's bow. Indra's bow is also called Indra Dhanush, which expresses itself in the sky as the rainbow. So Indra Saunashira is Dhanu is the rainbow. Kimiti na nibadhnati, right? Will not decide, will not will he not be able to decide? Dhi Shanam, with intelligence. So what is he saying here? He is saying, O daughter of the king of snow-clad mountains, Himagiri Sute, O daughter, your golden crown closely embedded with all the gems, shine like the 12 suns, which give color to the rubies. Will the intelligent people who look at this, will they not see this as a reflections of the rays of the moon causing the rainbow? Now, see, the poetry of this is completely so very, it actually engrosses your mind. Because, firstly, when you have one sun and you cannot look at it, you are saying that it has 12 suns. But at the same time, the rays that are coming from there are like the rays of the moon. Why? Because she is compassion. And she does not therefore burn you. She illuminates you, but does not burn you. So when you receive her rays, they come in the form of the rays of the moon. Now, when the rays of the moon are there, you will never have a rainbow, right? Rainbow cannot exist at night. I don't know if you have ever seen this. Sometimes there is a slight covering of clouds. There will be a full rainbow around the moon, round moon, right? That is the description. That is the description. Full moon, the glory of the full moon, covered with a halo of multicolored rainbow. Where is that coming from? It is coming as to us as a reflection. From where? From the crown of Devi, which is giving color to the entire universe. Giving color to this entire universe. Just meditate on the crown alone. That alone is enough for us to give us that proximity to her, give us that beautiful feeling that she is always there, watching us, seeing us, observing us, guiding us. She is Meenakshi. Meenakshi has, somebody asked me, what a stupid name. Why should be eyes like a fish? There are 2 meanings, 3 meanings. One, Meenakshi, purely from a poetic sense, the shape of a fish, which means beautifully shaped, right? Arched on both sides and so on and so forth. Second meaning, the fish is never stable. It is always moving in the water. Similarly, her eyes are always moving, watching this entire universe do its play, and you are always under observation. Third, the fish never closes her eyes. Devi's eyes never close. That is why she is Meenakshi. And that with that Meenakshi, when she is appearing here, just her crown is visible at this point of time. That crown is glorifying this entire. The light that we are even seeing is coming from her crown. Her crown is taking in the rays of 12 suns. Aditya, Martanda, Bhaga, Pushana, Surya, all of them have got absorbed into her crown and they are now reflected. But when they are reflected, the reflection is held back and given to us in the light of knowledge. And not only just knowledge, but knowledge with beauty. Knowledge given to us in a manner where we can absorb it like a rainbow. So here, Acharya has given us this beautiful. Another just random thought that has come to me when I was doing manan on this particular shloka is that he also uses the rainbow as a symbolism of the 7 chakras of the human body. Now, in the earlier shlokas, he has already told us how the Kundalini rises and how it comes down, and the Kundalini coming up and going through the various chakras. We have seen that, right? In the earlier shlokas, we have seen that. Each of the chakras has a specific color. 7 chakras, 7 colors. And the color of the Sahasrara is violet. Color of the Mooladhara is red. Clearly Vibgyor. So when all the 7 colors of the rainbow are present over there, what does it mean? It means that when she is present, all the chakras of your body have also been blossomed. It is only then when you see her, isn't it? So that complete blossoming of the individual evolution happens with her grace. That is what Acharya is saying here. So, what are we supposed to do? Just take this particular description. Take a crown, studded with jewels, glowing. But that glow is very beautiful, very, very calming, shining with all the colors of the rainbow. And you are bathing in that rays is how you meditate in this particular shloka. Any doubts, any questions? Yes, Sitaji.
Guruji, namaste. The comparison of Indra's bow,
bow.
with that, I don't understand that. Because that's the bit I'm a bit confused on.
So when the rays are reflected, like the rays of the moon, the reflection is seen by us through a spectrum of colors. Through a spectrum of colors. The colors appear to us as if it is a rainbow. As if it is a rainbow. Now, what is the significance of this? What are the 7 colors? Vibgyor. We understand that. What is the color of the Mooladhara chakra? Red. What is the color of the Swadhisthana chakra? Correct? Orange. Right? And it follows through exactly the same way till you reach the Sahasrara, which is violet in color. So when you are seeing that, what are we seeing? We are seeing a fully awakened being who is, through her grace, awakening us. So Acharya uses the poetic image of a moon surrounded by this glorious halo of 12 colors, which is coming to us. Moon by itself has no light. So the rays of the moon are coming to us because of the reflection from her crown, which is shining like with the glory of 12 suns. Right? Any other questions? Okay. Now, we have been doing the Purvangas and Uttarangas of the Saptashati in a random order, which is okay, right? I mean, I'm doing it the way I'm getting it. Whenever I get whatever instruction I'm getting, I'm doing it exactly that way. So we are now going to start the Kavacham. We have done the Argala Stotram. We have also done the Kilakam, right? No, we have not done the Kilakam. No, we have not done the Kilakam. We did the Kunjika. We did the Siddha Kujjika mantra, which is Uttaranga, which is normally done at the end. So that is an Uttaranga. Argala is the beginning. But before even chanting the Argala, see, what is done is, when it is traditionally, when Saptashati is chanted, the first processes involve the dhyana. Before even the dhyana is the Shapodhara japa. So, because we have limitations in us, chanting it without asking for removal of all the mistakes that I have committed in the past and will commit in the future, will not give me the effect of the chanting itself. And therefore, there is a Shapodharanam which is done. Shapa Uddharanam. Which is a particular mantra which is chanted a number of times. And doing all that, after that, first the chanting after the dhyana is done, before even the dhyana is done, the kavacham has to be worn. The kavacham basically means it's an armor. Now, from a physical sense, remember one thing, that the worship of Devi is for both bhukti and mukti, right? Unlike the Advaitic, pure Advaitic worship, or not even worship, the pure Advaitic dhyana is purely aimed only at moksha, and there is nothing to do with this entire Jagat entirely. Devi is manifest in this particular world. So everything that I am doing is also an aspect of a worship of Devi. And in that, therefore, there is material enjoyment that you are also looking for. But that material enjoyment is received as prasada. So sometimes you receive something bad, but you still receive it with joy. Prasada, what does prasada mean? It means enjoyment. Prasada word means enjoyment, right? So when you receive it with prasada, so you're saying, oh, I have got this particular problem, I have got a boil, I have got a pain, I have got an headache, somebody in my family has suffering from cancer, somebody has died. All of that can happen. And all of it is you receiving it as prasada. And therefore, you're always in a state of material enjoyment. That is called bhukti, to be enjoying, bhog karna, bhukti, leading to finally mukti. So when you look at the Lakshmi Ashtakam, Mahalakshmi Ashtakam, one of the lines will say, Bhukti Mukti Pradayini. Bhukti Mukti Pradayini. She is the giver of both enjoyment. But enjoyment does not mean, oh, must have a Rolls Royce car, I must have a 5-bedroom house, or I must be designated as the supreme boss in my company. No, that is not Bhukti. That is Bhoga. And Bhoga leads to Viyoga. Viyoga leads to Shoka. Bhukti means to be receiving as prasada. So whatever comes, you receive as prasada. Since you receive it as prasada, you are in enjoyment. You are always enjoying. So to be in bhukti and mukti, to go through the bhukti to reach mukti, kavacham is also necessary. So when I traverse this entire journey of life, I need protection. Protection from what? Protection from my own deeds, mistakes that I will make, my mind or my vasanas force me to make. I need protection from that. I need protection from the tapatraya. We have talked about this, right? The adidaivika, adibhautika, adhyatmika tapat, which come to me. Things that happen around me over which I have no control. I need protection from all of that. How do I do that? I do that by visualizing and bringing Devi into various parts of my body. And every part of my body, therefore, becomes the anga of Devi herself. That is how we bring about this protection. So how do we, what do we do for this? We therefore use the kavacham. So I will start. Line by line we will go. Atha Shri Devyah Kavacham. Om Asya Shri Chandika Kavachasya Brahma Rishihe Anushtup Chandaha Chamunda Devata Anganyasoktamataro Bijam Digbandha Devatas Tattvam Sri Jagadamba Prityarthe Saptashati Pathangatvena Jape Viniyogaha. The Chandika Kavachasya, this is the Chandika Kavacha. The Rishi for this is Brahma, because it comes to us from Brahma. The Chanda which is used, of the many chandas that we have, Anushtup Chandaha. Anushtup I have explained earlier, 32 syllables broken up into 8, 8, 8, 8. Right? The Bhagavad Gita predominantly is in the Anushtup Chanda. Dhritarashtra Vacha, Dharma Kshetre, Kurukshetre, 8. Dharma Kshetre, Kurukshetre, Samaveta Yuyutsavaha. So this is another 8. So on and so forth. Chamunda Devata. So any mantra needs to have Rishi, Chanda, and Devata. Right? So Rishi you put on your head because you are visualizing the feet of the Rishi on your head, and you are touching that. Therefore, you are touching not your head, you are touching the feet of the Rishi. Then generally, you are supposed to touch your mouth for the chanda. But then if you touch your mouth, your hands become jhuta. So to avoid that, they touch the nose. In actuality, when you do it in the tantric method, they actually touch the lips, and then you wash your hands. Then you say Devata. The Devata resides in your own heart. In this, Chamunda is the Devata. Right? Then there is a bija of this. The bija of this particular mantra is Anganyasokta Mataro. The Devi who is in the Anga, the Nyasa. When you are doing the Nyasa, the Devis who are in the Sanganyasa, they are the Bijam. And the Tattva of this, Digbandha Devatas Tattvam, the Digbandha, the 10 directions which are tied down to protect you, the Devatas in these the directions, they are the Tattva of this particular mantra. Sri Jagadamba Prityarthe. To please Sri Jagadamba, Saptashati Pathanga, Anga meaning part of, as a part of this Saptashati Pathangatvena Jape Viniyogaha. Then Om Namaschandikaye Markandeya Uvacha. Markandeya asks. He asks Pitamaha, right? So he says, Om Yad Guhyam Paramam Loke, Yad Guhyam Paramam Loke, Sarvaraksha-karam Nrinam, Sarvaraksha-karam Nrinam, Yanna Kasyachidakyatam, Yanna Kasyachidakyatam, Tanme Bruhi Pitamaha. So Yad Guhyam, secret. Paramam, please tell me that particular secret existing in this world, which protects Sarvaraksha-karam Nrinam, which protects all, can protect all problems for human beings. That which is permanently eternal, Chidakyatam, please tell me, Tanme Bruhi, tell me, Tanme Bruhi, tell Pitamaha, Brahma. Please tell me, O Brahma, please tell me, O Pitamaha, please tell me about this. Now, why is he addressing Brahma? Remember, in the first chapter of Saptashati, we see the story of Saptashati. In that, the first chapter is the Madhukaitava Vadha. The first chapter is Madhukaitava Vadha. In that, who kills Madhukaitava? Vishnu. Madhusudana, Madhukaitabari, etc., etc. But how does he kill? He kills because of the power given to him by Yoga Maya, Yoga Nidra. So when Madhu and Kaitava were doing all sorts of damage, then Brahma, he tried to wake up Vishnu, and Vishnu could not wake up Vishnu because Devi Yoga Nidra was holding him. So he prayed to Yoga Nidra, and Yoga Nidra left his body, and Vishnu woke up. Right? And then the story goes. So the first person in this entire universe who praised Devi is Brahma himself. Right? Because this is all pre-creation. Vishnu is lying down, Brahma has come, Madhukaitav have come from the earth, the dirt of the earth of Vishnu. And so there is no earth at this point of time. There are no people. And yet there is Brahma who has praised her. So Brahma is the first worshipper of Devi. So here he's asking Brahma, please tell me how to protect myself, how to protect every human being. And this is the beauty of the Rishi. Rishi is not asking for himself. He's asking for other people. He's asking Rinam. He's asking for people. Right? So here he says, Brahmo vacha asti guhyatamam vipra. Asti guhyatamam vipra. Sarvabhutopakarakam. Sarvabhutopakarakam. Devyastu kavacham punyam. So Devyastu kavacham punyam. Tachrinushva mahamune. O Mahamuni, O Vipra. Vipra means wise one. There is asti. Guhyatamam. There is a very good secret which is beneficial to everybody. Sarvabhutopakaram. Devya. Devya means of Deva. Devya of Devi. Devyastu kavacham punyam. The auspicious kavacham of Devi. Now listen to it. Tachrunushva mahamune. Then the next three shlokas basically give the list of the Navadurgas. Prathamam Shaila Putri cha. Dvitiyam Brahmacharini. Prathamam Shaila Putri cha. Dvitiyam Brahmacharini. Tritiyam Chandra Ghanteti. Kushmandeti Chaturtakam. So these were the first four. Shaila Putri, Brahmacharini, Chandra Ghanta, Kushmanda. Right? Each of these Devis have certain descriptions, certain dhyana shlokas. They have certain, and in my Navaratri writings, I have shared those earlier, and I will make that accessible in the one of the YouTube channels or somewhere. You can look at that writing again. So that the Navaratri Devis, all these are the 9 Devis that we worship during the Navaratri. In each day, we do a puja. So Shaila Putri Rupena Chandika Pujayami is how the Sankalpa is done for the first day. Right? So Shaila Putri, the first one. Brahmacharini. Shaila. So this is also the evolution of how Devi is. Shaila Putri, she was first born as the daughter of the mountain. Shaila. Shaila means mountain. Shaila Putri. Then she took on the vows of Brahmacharya. So she started worshipping Shiva. So therefore Brahmacharini. Right? And so on and so forth. So Chandra Ghanteti, Kushmandeti, Chaturtakam, Panchamam Skanda Mateti, Shashtam Katyayani cha. Shashtam Katyayani cha. So in Katyayani, so when Katyayan Rishi, I'm telling you this story because it is not written in the Navaratri thing. So Katyayan, the Rishi Katyayan and Himavan were very close friends. So Rishi Katyayan, then after Devi was born in Himavan's house, and there were a lot of celebrations and so on and so forth. Katyayan Rishi came back after the celebrations and he was feeling very sad. So Narad Muni came and as usual asked him, what happened? Why are you feeling sad? You have just now come after visiting the imperial goddess of this entire world. You have visited Jagadamba herself and you are now feeling sad. He said, yes, but my best friend has so much good fortune. He has received her blessings. So Narad Muni says, who stops you? I said, yeah, that is also true. She can manifest in everywhere. So Rishi Katyayan does a very ghora tapasya, very great tapasya, and in the next kalpa, she is born as Katyayani. In each of these kalpas, she is born in different forms, right? In the form of Katyayani, she battles Mahishasur for 4 days. Before that, in the earlier kalpa, she had 16 hands and she battled Mahishasur for 9 days. That is where Navaratri comes. In the next kalpa, as the daughter of Rishi Katyayan, she battles the Asura for 4 days and with 10 hands. Now you go back to Bengal and you look at the imagery. Dashabhuja, Mahishasur, and 4 days. Sashti, Saptami, Ashtami, Navami, Dashami. That's all. Right? Or rather, Saptami, Ashtami, Navami, Dashami. Sashti is the day when she comes, and then from Saptami, 4-day battle. So it is the third kalpa, the third part. All these stories are there in the Devi Purana. Devi Puran, Kalika Puran, all these stories are over there,
Right.
right? So Katyayani, she takes the form of Katyayani. Shashtam Katyayaniti cha, Saptamam Kala Ratriti, Mahagauriti Chashtamam. So these are the 8. Prathamam Shailaputri cha Dvitiyam Brahmacharini, Tritiyam Chandraghanteti, Pushpandeti Chaturtakam, Panchamam Skandamateti, Shashtam Katyayaniti cha, Saptamam Kala Ratriti, Mahagauriti Chashtamam, Navamam Siddhidatri cha, Navadurga Prakirtitaha. Navadurga, these are the 9 Durgas. Navamam Siddhidatri cha, Navadurga Prakirtitaha. Utkonya Utkonyetani Namani Brahmaneva Mahatmana. So those who are Mahatmana, they keep on remembering these 9 names. Ukta means the names that I have just now said. Uktanyetani, the ones that I just now said, right? Ramani Brahmanyeva Mahatmana. So that is the 9 names. This is where we will stop. So from here, then he says, fine, now you have taken the 9 names, the names of Devi, all the 9 forms. Now let us see how they interact with you, where they are placed in you, how they interact with you, how they protect you. That is the Kavacham. Did we end? Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.